This is the CitizenLink Report.
If you find our insights helpful, would you support our video efforts? Your gift of $25 or more goes a long ways. Covers the crew, lights, cameras, all that. Just click on Donate. Thanks from all of us. That was a big wave, but what does it mean for pro-life and pro-family issues? This is the CitizenLink Report. I'm Stuart Shepard, along with our president, Tom Minnery. Hi, Tom.
Hello, Stuart. It was indeed a good night last night.
We were both up late watching the returns, but we're ready to talk about them. It's still sinking in what happened. We have not seen a wave of that proportion since at least 1994 and perhaps decades before that.
Well, that's right. In fact, the House of Representatives have now taken the biggest conservative majority since the World War II, Harry Truman years.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Now, as you look at this, is there one or two races that stand out to you as illustrative of what it is to stand up as a conservative and run against a clearly defined liberal opponent?
You know, as we speak, we don't know the outcome officially in Alaska, but Dan Sullivan, the conservative Republican candidate, maintained his pro-life position, and he did that through a primary election when he was beset by Tea Party conservatives and people who are absolutists on the abortion issue. Dan Sullivan forthrightly said, "I will protect the lives of unborn children. I'm not ready to prohibit exceptions for rape and incest. I don't think the people of Alaska are there." But he courageously maintained that pro-life position when other Republican candidates who believe that issue scurried away from it. So I'm proud of that race and that candidate.
And with this election, the Senate has changed power. It has shifted over. And what that means is the conservatives now get to choose what bills get voted on. They also have a say in what justices get placed on the bench. But the part we're most interested in is that bill part right now. I mean, we care about the judges, but right now the bills are interesting. What does this mean for the issues we care about as far as life, family, religious freedom?
Well, that's a good question. There are more than 300 bills passed by the conservative House that have been stacked up, waiting for votes in the Senate that will never get votes under the current Democratic leadership with Harry Reid. Now the logjam will be broken when the new Congress seats in January, and among those bills are bills that would guard the lives of preborn children at the time those babies in the womb feel pain. That will advance to the president's desk, I believe. There will be bills that will remove the abortion payment requirement from Obamacare, among many, many other changes that we'll see in Obamacare, if not an outright repeal. I don't think we'll see an outright repeal because they know that the president will not repeal something that's got his name on it, Obamacare. But we will also see protections for religious liberty, that is to say, prohibiting the federal government from making any move against those who wish to operate businesses and individual enterprises according to the dictates of their faith. Now, there's still state laws that are a big problem for us, but at least this will point a clear direction for the federal government, and that makes sense and will have impact. Now, whether the president signs any of that, we don't know, but if he does not, that sets up the issues for 2016.
Describe for me what you mean by that, because that was the next question. That is the cloud over this wave of conservatism. America saying enough of that, let's change direction. We still have a president who is the keystone for all of this legislation, all of these changes at the federal government level that we don't like. And he's going to veto a lot of this. How does that play into what happens in 2016? How do you see it playing out?
Well, I think that the Republicans being united now in the Senate and House can pass more comprehensive bills on such things as tax reform, such things as reform to the very troublesome health care law that so many people are having a difficulty with. And by presenting clear alternatives, they will set up the differences between themselves and President Obama. And also, there's lots of so-called I call it chicanery, whereby issues like this, bills that we've just discussed, get attached to bigger bills, such as appropriations bills, that must get passed to keep the federal government running. And so there will be pressure on the president to sign at least some of that stuff into law.
Now, if you're a supporter of CitizenLink, it's important for you to understand or realize that you have a significant part of this victory that we just saw. Your support for us played out in many ways in many states across the country in direct action that led people to go to the polls.
Stuart, I am so proud to be associated with so many constituents at CitizenLink who gave sacrificially so we could mount a very vigorous, a very comprehensive grassroots voter mobilization campaign. We made over 4 million phone calls, not recorded phone calls, but each one of those had a live person trying to reach a targeted voter to encourage them to vote. Now, we didn't connect with all those 4.2 million, but we made them because we had 35 paid field directors working in 8 of the key states, and they totally, among all of them, had an army of about 1,500 volunteers making those phone calls. We sent 2.2 million printed mailers into mailboxes, trying to encourage those same people who would, if they remembered to vote, would vote the right way. Those are the people we were trying to reach. And so we did a bunch. We had, in all, activity in 11 states. We were hustling to make an impact as the surveys, the polls changed late in the race. So we have a dedicated team here at CitizenLink, but they're able to act only because our wonderful folks supported the effort.
And we got to visit one of the call centers where those live phone calls were being made, and I talked to a couple of people who were making those calls, a couple of young people who helped us out. I just want you to hear their view of this election.
Your vote affects how this whole country is run. And it can, you know, and people say that, oh, maybe mine doesn't count, or what if the state changes mine, but I'm skeptical about those governmental conspiracy theories that, oh, my votes don't get counted, and they do, and it's very important to vote.
I've always felt kind of like our country is going down the tubes, and I feel like this is a good opportunity to try to stop that, try to encourage people to protect our family values.
And Tom, all of that to say to our supporters, your support of CitizenLink means that you have a share of this victory, of this wave. It's you that made the difference.
That's right. It takes people to show up to vote and people to encourage those people to show up to vote, and you did it.
Tom, thanks for your insights. Appreciate your work this year. You put in a lot of long hours with this one.
As did you.
All right. And thank you for watching. We appreciate your support for CitizenLink. We encourage you to pray for this new majority in the Congress, that they would act, that they would actually do something with this opportunity that they've been given. Pray that they'll have wisdom and clarity and insight. We appreciate hearing from you as well. You may always write to us at mail@citizenlink.com. And remember, stand tall and be heard.